Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Hope you're still enjoying our Monday. Hope work was all right today, or whatever it is what you were doing today. Just I hope you enjoyed it. All right. A little bit of a interesting video today. We're talking a little bit about Brennan Johnson, obviously the man who is on the thumbnail. We'll also be talking about the Harry Kane situation meeting that Daniel Levy and Bayern had. And we're also talking about a Davinson Sanchez move within the Premier League. So stay tuned to all three of those things. But let's jump straight in with Brennan Johnson. So, Brennan Johnson, Nottingham Forest striker. Just give you an update of where he is, okay? Now, I spoke in a video not long ago about how Brentford had made an offer for Brennan Johnson that was rejected by Forest, and that Spurs were sort of keeping an eye on it, lurking, seeing what's going on, right? So this comes from Simon Jones from the Mail Sport, and that he's been on this news story for a little while. And he said that Tottenham Hotspur are considering a move for Brennan Johnson should the sale of Harry Kane go through. So that's a key point. Harry Kane has to go for Brennan Johnson to come in. Okay, that does not sound like a great sentence. I can't lie. But here's more. Forest boss Steve Cooper does not want to sell. Bids of 50 million would have to be looked at. So we're looking at 50 million being looked at. Doesn't mean it's going to be accepted though. But Spurs won't go that high. So it's kind of a dead-end rumour, is it not? If they don't want to sell for less than 50, we don't want to go to 50, surely there's an issue there. Unless Brennan Johnson and his team would force the move from his end, that's a dead-end move. It's not going anywhere. We're not going to be able to get the offer in. And do you know what does make me nervous and worried? Harry Kane gets sold, which I'm going to be talking about the value in a minute, but let's say Harry Kane gets sold, let's even say 85 million, okay? Let's be really short about let's be honest, we should be looking at more, but let's be on the conservative side. Let's say it's 85 million. If we're looking at a replacement that we want to spend 40 million on, does that not make you scared? Does that not make you worried about the fact that our only world-class player is going to be allowed to go out through a door and we're not going to replace him with something of at least quality? And I've got a feeling, and I'm always happy to see what you guys see in the group chat, but I've got a feeling it's a wonder kid coming in to replace him for 15, 20 million, and us going, there you go, there's it sorted. There's Harry Kane's replacement. So you got Richarlison, you got him. That scares me. That says to me we might be giving up on top four already, and we're kind of saying this is a complete rebuild. We're going to go to 8th and 9th, and we're going to work our way back up the league. That makes me nervous. That makes me really, really nervous. Now, I could be proved wrong, and they could be saying, look, we just don't value Brennan Johnson at more than 50 million. £50, good Lord, he'd be cheap. But we may not value him at 50 million. Okay, but we value Kolo Muani at 85 million, so we're going to go for him. Fine, hands up, happy days, lovely jubbly. If you're going to sell Kane, you've got to use all that money to replace him with the striker. Kolo Muani's that guy. He is that guy for me. We should be looking at a deal like that. We should be looking at using the funds. We shouldn't be looking to skimp some of it off and kind of saying, we'll spend 60 million and out of the 25 we'll save for a rainy day, which we never do. It just goes to the board and it goes to Daniel Levy. We need to be spending all that money, if I'm honest. And obviously there's some people here that, don't really, they're not happy about the Harry Kane situation and they don't mind him sold really anymore as much as they used to. I think that's kind of a general consensus. Look, don't get me wrong, as Spurs fans, we love Harry Kane, but there's a lot of Spurs fans that are kind of going, we're bored of this. It's happened for one summer already, it's happening for another summer now. We're bored of this. And I can understand where they're coming from. And I think they're also saying, but if you're going to sell him, you've got to use that money and you've got to spend it on another striker. We should all be looking to sell that on a striker, as well as two defensive-minded centre-halves. Defensive minded centre halves. You know what I mean? I was thinking about defensive midfielders for a second. I thought we don't need to if we're buying two centre halves. And I think in the midfield, you can get away with having a Giovanni Lo Celso. Bentancur is starting to speed up that process of coming back. He's still going to be a little while, but he's speeding that up. You've got Bissouma, you've got Pape Matar, you've got Madders, you've got some options in there, right? Hell, you might even keep Højbjerg till January and then let him go in January, because by then Bentancur's fit, he's happy, he's raring to go. That might be the move. Because if you do that and then you go, but we're going to focus on the centre-half position, then I think Spurs fans will go, hands up, yeah, fine. If you've nailed the centre-half position and you've got the striker sorted because Kane's gone, then in January you work on the midfield. I think Spurs fans kind of accept that. And I think we can definitely get by till January, not an issue. We've got creativity in there now. We've got different style of players in there now. So I think we can get by, especially till January. I think it's a smart move. So that's just an update on Brennan Johnson. I don't see it really going anywhere, if I'm honest. But just give you an update because I think it's important. Let's speak about Davinson Sanchez because he's also linked to Nottingham Forest. I know. God, it's crazy. The Mail Sport was on it again. So Nottingham Forest are interested in signing Tottenham defender Davinson Sanchez. Well, Forest have got money to spend. Forest will take his wages. I think you can get 10 million out of Forest, 10, 12 million out of Forest, take his wages. I think you could do that. And do you know what? I'd be happy for Davinson Sanchez. I'd love to see him flourish at Forest and do well because I think he came in as one of the world's most exciting young centre-halves, if you remember when he came from Ajax. And his first couple of years, I thought, we've just signed an outrageous defender. You know, when I remember him man-marking Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang out of multiple games before, and I know people might watch it and go, yeah, what about Aubameyang Arsenal? He did pretty well there as well. But at Dortmund, he was a lockdown defender and it was fantastic. And it just, with Alderweireld and Vertonghen aging at the time, it just, had he been there at that age, but a year before that, I think he really would have kicked on that little bit further. I think he would have had the ability to kind of work within that three-man defence. And he works so well with Jan and Toby. So I really hope Sanchez smashes it in his next move. I really do. I mean, it's time for him to go, but I always have that good feeling towards him to say, look, we've seen some amazing performances out of Davinson Sanchez. We have. And if you sit there and say you haven't, you are now just sort of lying to yourself. He has had some amazing moments for us. Moments where you go, that could be an amazing defender. And it just didn't happen. And it's a shame. But I would love to see him do well in the Premier League. I'd love to see him well and do it for us. And do you know what? You could do worse moves. I know obviously Galatasaray offers Champions League. I know he's rejected Spartak Moscow, but you know, evidently he is a player that can play in the top league. It's just what we expect of our centre-halves is a top 4 centre-half. We're not sure Davinson Sanchez is that, but if you think of mid-table sort of centre-half, Davinson Sanchez could easily be that in my opinion. Well, we'll keep an eye on that, but yeah, just an update around the Harry Kane situation. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this because I think it's going to annoy some people, all right? But just a quick one. So the Bayern Munich and Spurs representatives met today, obviously, and they had lunch. It was lunch? Oh, I wonder what they had for lunch. Maybe a quick trip down to Mackey's, that's what I think it is. Or it's Nando's, because the double chilies rewards this week. It could be that. They said there remains a £20 million gap for Harry Kane. Spurs will also insist on a buyback clause should he return to the Premier League. I think that's our way of saying if he's breaking the record, he's breaking it here. He's not breaking it anywhere else, which, all right, Daniel, I like that. I like that kind of demand to say, look, you can have him. There's our price, and we want a buyback clause. I think Bayern have just gone, hang on a second. Wait, whoa, we want to spend £20 million on this guy. And Daniel went, well, no, this is the valuation. You're about £20 million short. And I think Bayern are going, oh, that's about 30 million. That's about 28, 29 million euros, whatever it is, 25 million euros off. So you see what I mean? This deal was nowhere near done. And I think it's about Bayern coming to the table with a deal that's actually reasonable. That £20 million is a lot of money not to be near. You know, we're talking about a fifth of a deal. 20% of the deal they're missing. That's a lot of money. So I think this is going to be going on for a little while longer. But the buyback clause is an interesting thing. I'm not going to talk about it today. I'm going to talk about it another time. If a Harry Kane situation comes up where maybe the deal progresses, maybe the deal comes off, I don't know. We'll talk about it a bit later on in a different video. I'm not going to talk about it today. But guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed your Monday. Obviously, drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Hit me in the comment section below about the situation about Brennan Johnson. Are you worried that we've already capped prices at what we're buying strikers? Is Brennan Johnson a guy you'd like if Harry Kane goes? It's all dependent on Harry Kane. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit the bell notification for more. I nearly murdered it. Anyway, guys and girls, I know, that's the end of the video, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, lads.